If you pop this latch right here, open up this door and reach back here and toggle this switch from hoist to jack, and then grab this controller right here and push the up button, you can use the hydraulic jack to raise your trailer. And then after you've backed your truck under, you can use the down button to put it down on top of your hitch. Then you can toggle this Demco latch to secure it to the ball, and then hook on your chains. And then you can remove this electrical cord that's safely packed away in this little holder. And this cord is a cold weather cord, so it stays nice and flexible even when it's really cold, and you don't end up with a frozen scorpion cord that you're trying to figure out how to plug into your truck. And then you can plug that in and hook on your breakaway cord. And you'll see inside this cabinet, you've got plenty of room for all your chains and your binders, as well as a place to store some bungee straps for the tarp or for anything else you might be putting inside here. You've got your battery, your hydraulic pump, and the reservoir. And then if you come back over here and toggle this switch back to hoist and put this magnetic saw blade angle finder right here, and then push and hold this up button, the dump trailer will tilt up all the way up to just over 40 degrees. And with it up in the air, you can see that the guys at Southland build these trailers different than a lot of other guys. Instead of having the beams that go all the way across, that over time end up making it so you have that waving in your floor, they have these two engineered sills that go all the way down, which is the same as what you see in dump truck boxes that these guys also happen to manufacture, which gives you a stronger floor system and prevents you from having that warping over time that catches up some of the material when you're trying to dump out. Right here you can see they've got this giant 13-ton Champion hoist, which is power up and power down, so you don't have to wait for gravity to slowly push your trailer back down. And then over here, they've got two 10,000-pound Lippert torsion axles that gives you a really nice ride with oil bath bearings and steel 8-lug wheels. And one really unique thing about the Southland trailers is that they've tried to make a trailer that weighs the least so that you get the most payload. And one of the ways they do that is with this engineered beam right here. You'll see that it starts out at one width, gets a lot bigger, and then goes down narrower as you work your way back. They spent a lot of time and effort engineering a beam specifically for these dump trailers to be thick in the spots where it needs it and thinner in spots where you don't need it. So you don't have to have one giant beam going all the way across. You can optimize it and make it this shape so that it has the most payload capacity with the lightest weight. And so this trailer has a total weight of 5,700 pounds with a GVWR of 21,000 pounds, meaning you have a total payload capacity of 15,300 pounds in this trailer. And then here on the back side of the trailer, they have a unique three-way tailgate. The first thing that it does is open like a barn door. You pull these latches here, you can swing these gates open all the way over until this little thing right here comes and snaps into this pocket right here, and then that door will stay open when you're dumping and won't get torn off when you pull away. And these doors are also designed with a slam shut feature. So you just slam them, and because these pins down in the bottom have an angle on them, they just slam shut and hold together. And the second way that this tailgate works is with this lever right here and one on the other side. You can pull these pins and then pull this lever back, and then this bottom of the tailgate will swing open. And you can leave it so it swings all the way open and dumps everything out, or you can use these chains to set a small gap in situations like where you're trying to spread gravel and you want the gravel to come out at an even pace as you're moving forward and spreading the gravel. And then if you latch these back down and come up to here and pull these pins on each side and unlatch them, this whole tailgate will now fold down like the tailgate on a pickup truck. And you can use these chains to set where you want this to end up at. So if you're loading something bigger than this trailer, this one is 7 by 16 long. Let's say that I've got some logs I'm trying to load in here that are 18 or 19 feet long. I can just put the tailgate down, load the logs in here and strap them down and be on my way. Another thing I really like about this trailer is that here on the backside, if you pull this out, it'll drop down this support beam. And then it'll go up and lock into place, and you can do that on both sides. And that's for when you're gonna load equipment in your trailer. This way, as the machine is coming up the ramps, this holds the trailer from dipping down and lifting the back of your truck up in the air. And speaking of loading equipment, every other dump trailer I've owned, I have really not liked loading any equipment, because usually the ramps are some steel manufactured super heavy things that were a pain in the butt to get out and really heavy to lift. These ones, by contrast, you can pull this lever right here and out slides some really nice lightweight aluminum ramps. And what's really impressive about these is that right at the midpoint, they have a 4,500 pound capacity on each one. So 9,000 pound machine just sitting right in the very middle of the ramps. And then on the inside, the trailer has 4 D-hooks in all the corners for strapping down your equipment. With every other trailer I've owned, those D-hooks were always in the floor. And invariably, when I tried to dump things out, stuff got caught in it. So it's nice to have them here on the walls. The floor is 3/16 steel and the walls are 10 gauge steel, making it a really strong trailer that can take a beating. And then if you toggle this switch right here and grab on here and pull back, you can pull this tarp all the way back and then latch it into these spots right here and tighten it back up so your load is nice and secure and nothing comes flying out as you're driving down the road. And then along both sides, you've got a step here on the side, stake pockets, a rub rail for hooking straps on, steel fenders, another step right up here at the front. And right down here is the plug-in where you can plug in your trailer at night and trickle charge the batteries so they're always charged up to run your hoist and the jack on the front. So this is going to be the perfect setup for all the work that I have to do out at that acreage. And the reason I went with a bumper pull trailer instead of a gooseneck trailer is that I put a flat deck on my truck. And that way, if I'm hauling a skid steer and I also have other implements, I can put those attachments or implements up here on the flat deck and still load the skid steer in the back without having to go and do it in 2 loads.